Think that I've said this before now. Born to be down. What good is confidence? And you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you don't. And you don't. And you don't. And you don't. And you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you don't. 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 Don't get it. You keep it copacetic. And you don't. You accept it. You know you're so pathetic. And you don't. Don't get it. You keep it copacetic. And you don't. You accept it. You know you're so pathetic. And you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you just don't get it. You keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. You know you're so pathetic and you don't.
Good morning, WBAM Radio. Welcome to Morning Bull with me, Bonley Johnson, my co-host, Bonzobitburg.
Hello.
Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Beaverly. Beaverly's tuning in. A.K.A. Beverly, A.K.A. Booger, Tisha, Puddin', whatever you want to call her. How you doing today? You?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Good.
I mean, the other people can hear me, but they can't talk back.
Well, they got Chad. I figured you were asking her. You were talking to her, and then
Yeah, I was talking about her. What do you want to get into today? We were going to have a special guest, but he don't think we're very important.
no, he doesn't.
He's not wrong either. We are not very important. All right, we're going to keep the music rolling. That was Local H with The Kids Are All
You
Right.
played the wrong song.
Did I really?
Yeah, that was copacetic.
Was it the same band, though?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was close. Okay, let's play The Kids Are All Right then. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. Go back. Look, I swear that's what I kicked. Or I picked. It's the only one that's up there. That copacetic isn't even on the list. Look, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see
Right
it.
there's
It must,
where I clicked.
I don't know what you did, but it wasn't the right song.
Let's try it again. Here are All the Kids Are Right. I think it's
You heard that we were great, but now you think we're lame. Since you saw the show last night, you hoped that we would rock and knock it up a notch. Rockin' was nowhere in sight, and it's never good when it goes bad. No one likes to feel like they've been had, and it may be okay, but you won't wear You heard that we were great, but now you know we're lame. Since you saw the show last night, you'd hope that we would rock, wish that we just stop. And finally we said goodnight. When we had returned for the encore, you and half the room had headed for the door. No one wanted more. All the kids, they hold a grudge. Their minds are locked onto the net. All the kids, they hold a grudge. You failed them and they won't forget it. All the kids are tired and turned away. All the kids, they hold a grudge. Their minds are locked onto the net. All the kids, they hold a grudge. You failed them and they won't forget it. All your cred won't save you from the kids. They saw what you did. You're all wrong and all the kids are right. Next.
Okay, I think I got it right that time.
Yep, that was
All
the right song.
All the kids are right. Local H. Happy lunch, Miss Sydney over in Germany. She's listening to us right now. We are a multicultural, multinational show here. Sorry, hard to believe, but yay, internet, right?
Yay.
Only on the internet can people in Germany listen to two dudes from New Philly. Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk? It is September 11th, by the way, so we'll play a little patriotic music later and maybe have a little moment of silence on purpose this time. Usually it's because I hit mute on my mic and forget to talk. But I think I got that fixed now. All right, I want to play a little something for you. Do you know who the Turnpike Troubadours are?
No, I do not.
They're kind of one of those bands that's like country but not country, bluegrass but not bluegrass. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like the
I
Tyler
like
Childers kind of
bluegrass.
stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you might like this one then. I don't know if you will or you won't. I'll ask you afterwards. This one's called Long Hot Summer Day by the Turnpike Troubadours. Give it a listen.
Well, I'm gonna pick up some of these empties, Lord, as soon as I find where they lay. Tied off them jolly and leaving mines on a long hot summer day. And for every day I'm working on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Oh, towboat picking up barges on a long hot summer day. Well, I got me a gal in Pekin. She's a good old gal, okay. Oh, she's sitting there waiting by a window fan on a long hot summer day. For every day I'm working on the Illinois River, yesterday. Gonna get off down in Auden on a long hot summer day. And for every day I'm working on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Oh, towboat picking up barges on a long hot summer day. On the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Oh, towboat picking up barges on a long hot summer day. And for every day I'm working on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Oh, towboat picking up barges on a long hot summer day.
That was the Turnpike Troubadours doing Long Hot Summer Day. What'd you think?
I dug it. Anything with banjo and fiddle,
Yeah,
I'm good with.
they're just that's one of their older albums. They've got some slightly newer stuff out, but they were hot right around. Well, they were never hot, but you know, for their genre, they were hot right around 2010, 2012. There's a couple other bands I'll introduce to you over the time I think you'll like that are similar to that kind of stuff. We got Puddin's having a rough morning. Her daughter's hard to get out of bed. I think you can relate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You don't have a daughter, but your son's hard to get out of bed sometimes, I think.
So is my wife.
Yeah. I am too. I'm hard to get out of bed. I get up early now because I don't have a choice. That's one of the reasons I made Morning Bull the way I did. So have some kind of structure and get up and move around, and you know, because mowing doesn't start till later.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I'm lazy in the mornings.
Especially when it gets towards fall, doesn't all the moisture gather on the lawn forever?
Yeah, it's spring too. Like summer's the only time, and now it was so dry this year that there's nothing going on. So I ain't got much to mow today. I'm working on mowers. I got a bunch of broken stuff, so that's
I almost can't talk into this damn mic today.
Why?
Because this guy come in yesterday in my office here, and he's got so much cologne on it, just stunk my whole room up.
So
now
it's
that's
absorbed
that's
in
all I can smell. That's all
Pull
I can smell.
does yours have the foam on it?
The sock. Yeah.
Yeah, just take it off. It doesn't. That windscreen doesn't do that much.
Oh, that's much better.
It'll hold
much
smells.
better. Much
you
better.
could smell like. I remember.
He wasn't even close to it though. That's what's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
I remember Georgia was sharing a mic with one of the guitar players. He was a weed smoker.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she could smell his breath on the mic when she would go to use it. She had to carry her own pop filter. All right, this is one of the guys I saw this summer with Chris Stapleton. And if you got songs you want to hear, Bonzo, you got to text them to me, so because I won't have time to hurry up and, you know what I mean. So just send me stuff you want to hear. But this is Marcus King doing a song called "The Well." I saw him over at Blossom this year, and he opened.
I
with
hate
this
that
song.
venue.
It's a terrible venue, and you couldn't hear him. You couldn't even hear him talk. We'll discuss that. Maybe we'll discuss that today because it's fucking awful. But the music was good. It wasn't loud enough. Wasn't loud enough at all. But here is Marcus King doing "The Well."
no easy street where I come from. There wasn't no sleep until the work was done. Preaching about the fires of hell. If you wanna drink of water, got to go to the well. The Cornerstone Church trying to curse my soul, but the good Lord give me that rock and roll. You never can tell. So one for the money, two another show, three for the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Long outro on that one. That was Marcus King doing The Well. And yeah, I knew ahead of time that you wouldn't like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bluesy for you. That traditional bluesy. Because you like some of the bluesy stuff. You say you don't, but there are songs I've heard you say you like that are definitely blues-based songs.
Yeah, I like some. I just don't. There's some that I don't like. Most
That's
of it I
definitely
don't
one.
like.
I kind of knew that ahead of time. All right, we're going to play a little Seether now. Do you see what's on my screen?
Yeah,
What about that one?
that's fine.
That's one of their better ones, I think. It's off one of their first albums. Might even be their first album. I think it is their first album. That was the name of the album, too, wasn't it? Gasoline?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't remember, though. It's been a while.
Yeah, because we're fucking old, that's why. That was like 2000, right around 02, something like that. Somewhere in there. Early 2000s for sure. Here is Seether doing Gasoline. Let us know what you think in chat if you don't know the song.
Last night I saw that beauty queen, watched her paint her face on. I wanna be that magazine that you nothing to say. She's got bills to pay. She's got no one to hate except for me. When I saw that beauty queen, watched her paint her face on, I wanna be the one unclean that she wipes her ass on. Wanna waste her monthly blood, wanna get some on my love, wanna get some gasoline and burn her house down. She's got nothing to say, she's got bills to pay, she's got no one to hate except for me. She's got nothing but shame, she takes pills for pain, she's got no one to blame except for me. For me.
See, they're doing gasoline off of gasoline. Was that one of the CDs we bought that time we were out shopping at the record store?
I don't know if that was the first. I was just looking on here and it says that they came out with one that was called Fragile in 2000, but that was under an independent record label. So
Yeah.
that must not have been the same one.
No, it would have been their second album, I guess. Then first one we had, first commercial must have been their first commercial product.
Says 2002 was Disclaimer.
Was it Disclaimer?
Yeah.
Was that the name of the album, the Gasoline?
I
album?
don't know. I don't know.
I
Maybe.
thought
I mean,
Gasoline was the name of the album, but I mean, you're asking.
yeah,
the wrong
it's the
person.
first song on that
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. And then Disclaimer 2 came out later because they repeated the name. But
It was 04.
Yeah, that sounds right. Glad you got facts. I got nothing, Fred. Win Fred's money. Now it's win Bon Lee's money, but you ain't got to beat me in trivia. You just got to pick a lucky number. So much easier. So much nicer. All right, it is the morning of September 11th, but it is 2024. Thank goodness, not 2001. So we're going to play a little patriotic song, and then at the top of the hour, we'll have a moment of silence. It should work out pretty well timing-wise. Here is the quintessential patriotic song. This is Lee Greenwood. God bless the USA.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Lee Greenwood's timeless classic, God Bless the USA. Horrible day. Hope everybody always remembers how everybody felt that day, if you were around, if you were alive. And there's a lot of people now who just weren't even alive then. They have no idea what it felt like. Terrible, all those people. Yeah, it's awful. So we're close enough to the top of the hour. We're going to do 5 seconds of silence in remembrance of the events of September 11th, 2001. All right, thank you for that. I'm going to play a little Charlie Daniels for you right now. Here he is, Simple Man. Listen closely.
I ain't nothing but a simple man. They call me a redneck, I reckon that I am, but this thing's going on, make me mad down to the core. I have to work like a dog to make ends meet. There's crooked politicians and crime in the street, and I'm madder than hell, and I ain't gonna take it no more. We tell our kids to just say no, and then some panty-waist judge lets a drug dealer go. He slaps him on the wrist and he turns it back out on the town. But if I had my way with people selling dope, I'd take a big tall tree and a short piece of rope. I'd hang them up behind and let them swing till the sun goes down. Well, you know what's wrong with the world today? People done gone, put the Bibles away. They're living by the law of the jungle, not the law of the land. Well, the good book says it, so I know it's the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You better watch where you go and remember where you've been. That's the way I see it, I'm a simple man. Now I'm the kind of man who wouldn't harm a mouse, but if I catch somebody breaking in my house, I got a 12-gauge shotgun waiting on the other side. So don't go pushing me against my will. I don't want to have to fight you, but I darn sure will. If you don't want trouble, then you better just pass me on by. As far as I'm concerned, there ain't no excuse for the raping and the killing and the child abuse. I got a way to put an end to all that mess. You just take them rascals out in the swamp, or put them on their knees and tie them to a stump. Let the rattlers and the bugs and the alligators do the rest. Well, you know what's wrong with the world today? People done gone, put their Bibles away. They're living by the law of the jungle, not the law of the land. Well, the good book says it, so I know it's the truth. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You better watch where you go and remember where you've been. That's the way I see it, I'm a simple man. Watch where you go and remember where you've been. That's the way I see it, I'm a simple man.
Charlie Daniels Band right there, Simple Man. Everybody hates rednecks till it's time to skin a buck, and then all of a sudden, hey, will you be my friend? Just the way it is. We can take it. I can take it. You ever heard of 5 Horse Johnson?
No.
99. I know you've heard of that, but isn't Johnson an outboard motor? Don't they make outboard boat motors? Johnson brand.
Yeah.
So I said,
I thought you meant that was the name of a band.
It is. It's 5 Horse Johnson. I said, but I bet you've heard of 99 Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There probably was a 5 Horse
There probably
Johnson back
was.
in the day.
They had some weird small sizes back then. I've seen 6. I've seen 6 horse motors. I've never seen a 5, but I'm sure it was there. But this is
Well,
a
you
song
know why they did the 9-9, right?
to keep it under 10 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a law on the lakes. I forget what it was now, but if you
Well,
kept it
isn't
under
it
10.
also that if it's over 10 or over, it has to be titled? In Ohio, at least. I don't
It's
know. If
15.
Is
It's
it
over.
15?
Yeah. If it's over, I think it's 15 or bigger. I think.
Oh,
is how-
okay. Because I was wondering why they did the 9.9. It must just been for the 10 horse rule, right?
Can't remember what the 9 was, but yeah, there was something about if it was 10 or more there. I don't remember. Maybe somebody in chat might remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I just know that 15 horse, you have to have a title. 9.9, you don't. They can just sell them willy-nilly. And then didn't you tell me that also you can upgrade the carburetor and make it a 15? It's still considered a 9.9 because
Well,
manufactured.
a 9.9 is a 15 horsepower engine with a different restricted carburetor.
Oh, okay. So that's why
So
they
you
get away
just
with
swap the carb.
Get away with just swapping them out or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is that band. This is called Mississippi King by 5 Horse Johnson. So I don't think you'll like this one either, but you never know. This is more definitely my style than yours, but we'll see. Give it a listen.
Floating to the flame like a riverboat gypsy. Gather at the river, 'cause I'm gonna set you all free. Do what I say and you'll have all the power. Make the suckers dance and charge them by the hour. Stopping the clock, so when you do that thing, soon you're gonna shake for the Mississippi King. Now you're gonna stand
5 Horse Johnson right there with Mississippi King. What do you think?
Not bad.
That was my pick for the day. You going to count Local H as the Bonzo pick of the day?
That's fine.
Or do you got something, video,
Nope.
and something else you want to share?
Nope.
Okay, Local H, we'll put it in chat here. Our picks for the day, we'll put them in a little bit later. I don't feel like leaning up and typing right now. We'll put them in. Local H, all the kids are right, and 5 Horse Johnson, Mississippi King. Those are our picks for the day. If you don't like them, then you suck, not us. That's just the way it is. Well, that's probably all the music we're going to play for a little bit, unless we run into something we want to do a little bit later that fits in with whatever we're talking about. We had a subject all picked out and ready to go, but it didn't work out today, so we had to find something else.
Wah.
Wow. Connor Cornelius did not want to get out of bed, so we're not going to talk about werewolves. I was really excited to talk about werewolves, too. I liked them, man. I like those movies.
Oh, he'd be nonstop with that.
I know. That's why I picked it. I want to hear him go. He's good. He is the king of facts and times and dates and all that stuff. And I
For
had
certain things.
Yeah, certain things. Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that true for everybody, though? You know, if you're not
I can't
interested
remember a
in it-
date or anything for anything.
Well, I bet you can remember all the places. If you drove around, you're like, yeah, I made that sign there. Yep, I made a sign
Yeah.
for them. If you ever went around, because I do that. I'll drive by places that I poured concrete at 10 years ago, and I'll remember it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I poured concrete there. And we had blah, 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 5 yards, whatever it was. But, yeah, same thing. I can't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday. But every place I poured concrete at, when I go by it, I remember it. Like, oh, yeah. Especially if something happened, which most jobs were eventful. There were very few that were like dump and goes. It's just the way it was. It's a stressful fucking job. And it's not just stressful on the driver. Drivers probably got it the easiest out of everybody, especially the way we did it. When I first started, my truck I kind of got lucky, considering some of the pieces of shit that they had there to drive. They stuck me in a fairly decent truck. It was an old truck. It was a 98, and it was probably 2013 when I started there, I think. You probably remember. You're the one that got me the job. But,
That sounds about right. That falls in line.
yeah. Yeah, it definitely was 2013. Yeah, I know for sure it was. It was the spring of that year. But it was in 1998, so I mean, I couldn't do the math right now. That's what, 25 years old? Something like that. 15. It's at least 15. 98, 2008, 10. Yeah, 15 years old. So it was a 15-year-old truck. And in truck years, I don't know, if you're an over-the-road driver, you understand that over-the-road trucks last about 3 to 5 years before they need rebuilt. And most companies, the big companies that you work for, most of them will just like get rid of them. They'll sell them off to independents and smaller companies who will put a new motor in them. And, you know, because the big companies don't want to mess with that stuff. It's too much expense. They would rather just wring a little bit out, as much juice out of the lemon as they can and just send it on to somebody else. So a 15-year-old truck is old as dirt in trucking years. But this one, it still ran okay. So it actually ran really good. That motor in that truck was ridiculously strong. And there was 2 of them that came off the assembly line together. It was number 10 or 10? Yeah, it was number 10 and number 8 came off the assembly lines together. And Barkley ended up driving 8. She started later that year, the same year I started. That's how we became friends, because we were breaking in together doing the mixer thing. And her truck was a dog. It was way nicer and cleaner because the mechanic drove it, and he just never got it dirty. So, and he was allowed to like stop and clean his truck in between because he was the mechanic. He only drove when he had to. Most of the time he was working on shit in the shop. So his truck was old, same age as mine, but it looked brand new. The seat didn't even have a scratch on it, nothing, until, of course, Barkley drove it. Then it got broken properly. But yeah, that It was old as dirt, but I got lucky. I don't even remember the hell I was going with that now. Tired. Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
You don't
You were
remember?
talking about seeing your work everywhere. I don't know
Oh,
where
yeah,
you.
yeah. But I still don't remember where I was going with it. But just got lucky with that truck. That's all. It was a good truck. Oh, I was
First
talking
time I
about.
seen
Oh, I
some of
know.
my work out of state was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get mail order stuff or what?
No, we would do when I worked at the other company down in Port. We used to do like stuff for rallies and all
Oh,
kinds
that's
of
right.
different
Because you guys
places.
didn't they do like displays or something?
Yeah, did displays
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I would do signage for them, and I would go somewhere and
They.
Exxon too. We would do a
Oh,
bunch
that's
of stuff for
nice.
X.
They're all over the place.
But yeah, I seen some of my work, down south, all over.
I
But I would love to go to Italy and see. I sent a ATV, one of those. I told you about that. I think
That
the
doesn't mean I
off
remember that.
road ambulances they built
Oh,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah. You did. Yeah.
I do a lot of them for a company, and they send them all over the world. One went to Italy. I forget where else they went. I
I
don't
would
think
like
I
to
did
have one
anything
of
for.
those.
I don't think I did anything for Australia, but I did Italy and I think Mexico and California.
That's a foreign country too.
No, I'm just saying that's places other than
No, it
here.
is.
Yeah.
It's a foreign country. Foreign to us. I remember where I was going with it now. It was just the
Okay.
job was stressful. But later my new truck was a remote control truck. So I could get out of the truck. I didn't have to be in the cab anymore. Because part of the stress of that job is they're standing back there holding your chute full of concrete and they're hollering at you and trying to wave their hands while they're trying to spread that concrete nice and even so their rake guy doesn't get beat up the whole time because you don't want a bunch of big dips and doozles. But anyhow, that's where I was going. My new truck was remote. When I quit, was remote control. I could get out and just literally drive the truck with a remote, swing the chute, and do everything. So they never had to touch it. All they had to do was rake shit. It was pretty easy. Made it nice, but
Yeah, I think the first one they got was that transformer truck. Was it
it
got the
was.
first
That was the
remote?
first remote truck they got. That's
They
what got them
did. They
started
took
on
that.
that.
They took that down to the mall when that Transformer movie came out and
Mm-hmm.
was driving around the parking lot. Everybody thought that was cool as shit.
It was in the movie. That truck was actually
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. People out there don't. That's perfect to talk about. They had repainted it white. And were you working at Mitchell's when we had
Yeah,
it done?
yeah.
Did
I
you do
did
the
the
graphics? Okay.
Yeah, I did the graphics.
So you're
on it.
you're really in. You really know about it then, yeah. But they had painted it white, and it was out in Utah, and my father-in-law bought it on an online auction. And then they flew out there and drove it home. Then you guys painted it and put the
They put
Decepticon decals.
I think they just painted over everything when
Yeah.
because the decals were you could still see where
Oh,
the decal
did they paint
was.
the white? I never saw it, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I actually copied the decal so it would match.
Oh,
what the
that worked
movie
out
was.
for you then.
Yeah,
Because it was exact. You can see it. It's only in the beginning of the movie when they're on the construction site. You can see it
Mhm.
rolling through there, and they show it with no driver, and you get to see the steering wheel turn a little bit. But
they showed a couple times in the
Did they?
movie. It's
Okay.
in,
I
it's
only
in
remember the
later on
beginning.
too.
I only remember the beginning, but it is a cool truck, and a lot of people did, get off on that when they would see it come. And the guy that drove it, he's sick right now, so I shouldn't make fun of him. He has colon cancer. He's recovering. I think he's doing okay, but he's got a long way to go yet. But anyhow, him and I were kind of at odds once in a while. We get along, but we would still fuck with each other. And I would tell everybody when I knew he was coming behind me, I'm like, that's a real Transformer truck. And they're like, we know it was in the movie. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's real. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, every time that left door opens, it transforms into an asshole. They would all tell him that. I'm like, you can tell him. I don't care. I tell him it all the time. But yeah. And when I got mine, shortly after that, they bought an International because Kimball in New Philly made that truck for the movie people. And they started making Like it was a regular thing they started doing, was these remote control trucks. It was an option you could buy on the mixer. They had them on dump trucks too, where the gravel slinger would come out the back and you could run your truck with the remote and sling the gravel. Anyhow, but so I got the second one they bought. That was my first remote truck. And yeah, I mean, they didn't care what I did with it either. Like they would let me put people up in it and I could drive them around and stuff.
Not even rolling it.
Yeah. Well, not that one I didn't. I rolled,
okay.
I rolled the other one.
You rolled the orange one?
Yeah, the orange one. The first orange one I had. It was it started out pastel yellow. That was truck 10, the one I was telling you about that had a really good motor in it.
Yeah.
That's the one I rolled.
Oh.
The one you put Jinxie on the door.
Mm-hmm.
It was orange then because they had it painted. We got in trouble for that too because, well, Barkley and I weren't dating yet, but we were friends. Like I said, we broke in together and, I helped her out and stuff because she's like fucking 4'3" or something. So if she would get stuff stuck in the hopper, she couldn't get it out. So I'd have to like climb up there with a hammer and knock shit loose or whatever. Because they always sent us together on jobs, always. Because we were the two newest drivers. So we got all the shit jobs and we always got sent together. But she decided to let me pick the paint color because she got to choose the paint colors. And somehow her dad got wind that I picked the color orange because he didn't like orange. So I picked the orange because that's my favorite color. And then she told Mitchell's that he can do what he wanted to it. And he put that orange roof on it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He painted the roof. And Brian was pissed. He was pissed. He's like, that's not our paint scheme. And Bailey had to eat it because she told Mitchell that it was okay to do what he wanted, have some creative license with it. And he's like, it looks like he called it a circus truck. He said it looks like a clown car, only bigger. Oh, that's kind of fitting. Then we got in trouble because she let me pick the color too. So he's like, we don't let drivers do that. We end up with ugly trucks. He wasn't wrong. It was ugly, but I liked the color. That wasn't the original color I picked. There was some kind of Ferrari orange or something she had showed me. I'm like, yeah, that's the one I want. But then Mitchell couldn't get it. And that was the closest orange to it. Some kind of reddish orange, sunset orange or something like that. I don't know. It was nice. I thought it was nice. Didn't last long, but
I remember the first time you called me and said, hey, me and Bailey are going to date. I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
yeah, I was worried too, but I was like,
when I got you that job, you were like, I love this job. It's the greatest job in the world, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cool. And then you told me that. And I'm like, are you fucking crazy? You love your job. You're going to get fired. But it all worked out in the end. That's good.
It all worked out. But yeah, I thought they were going to fire me too. I really did. The only thing that was ever said, and it wasn't even really negative, was we dated for like 6 months before we even told anybody, before I even told you. We were dating a while because I wanted to be sure, it's like, she wanted to be sure before we said anything because, she's a very private person anyway. So she doesn't do any of that Facebook shit. She's on there, but she doesn't, doesn't post anything. That's why almost nobody knows she's pregnant. Almost nobody. People on the radio and that know, but she doesn't put it anywhere. Like her parents know and stuff like that, and her family knows, but she's not hiding it. She's just not promoting it. How about that? That's how she is. But we waited a long time, and then we had a cookout, and you were probably there. I'm sure we invited you. Mike was there, my brother. Yeah, you guys were there. Unless you had to go somewhere else. I don't remember. It was at the brick house. The one out there, out in the woods.
Yeah. I don't remember if I ever went to a cookout there.
Yeah. Her parents and her brothers and her sisters were there. And her mom got me alone in the garage. And she's like, listen, this is not what I meant when I told you to watch out for my daughter. I was like, then she was like, she was just fucking with me. But I was like, I didn't know what to say. She had me cornered. And I was like, oh. But yeah, her parents never said a thing about it. all they said was she's weird. It just doesn't surprise us at all. So.
That's nice. She's weird.
That's what her mom said. She's weird. She's a different person.
Her dad never said nothing to you?
No,
Not one word, huh?
they told him, and the only thing he ever says is she could do worse. So he always liked me from day one. He's the one that hired me there. Like he did my interview and all that, snagged me up and put me under his group over there. So I don't know why. I didn't do anything special. Showed up every day. That seems to be more than you need to do there.
Anywhere nowadays.
Pretty much. I think it is nowadays. I don't know. Maybe it still just surprises me. We had a guy whose nickname, you have to understand that, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's the one that gave him this nickname. You know how rednecky he is. So his comedy's not always that great. It's kind of cringy, but the name stuck. He called him Molasses Ass. He was just slow and didn't do shit. And this dude, he missed. It was always either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but mostly Tuesdays. There was an occasional Wednesday he would miss. But I think his record without missing a Tuesday or Wednesday was 2 weeks.
Wow.
In the 3 years he was there. And they finally, after 3 years of that shit, this is how tolerant they are. 3 years of that. They're like, you're on probation. If you miss another day, you're fired. That's it. And he missed the next 3 Tuesdays before they fired him. He went on and missed 3 more. They didn't believe him.
But didn't he go back to work there?
No.
Oh, that ain't the right one then.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking of the other Jeff then.
No. Jeff didn't get fired. This is Jeff nicknamed this guy.
Oh.
He nicknamed him Molasses Ass. Yeah, Jeff's still there. Jeff didn't get fired. Jeff was off for his surgery. If you're thinking of the right Jeff.
Yeah.
George's Jeff.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that nicknamed him. This guy.
I thought you meant Brian
No.
nicknamed Jeff that.
No.
Gotcha.
Jeff's got a different nickname. He's angry.
Angry.
He's one of those angry people. He's always angry. Of course, did you know, then he ended up having that brain tumor, so that might have had something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, he could have been a mass murderer, serial killer.
With that kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
He's still having
Don't
problems.
they say head trauma causes that sometimes?
Yeah, but it's usually in the front.
Yeah.
His was in the back. It's usually the frontal lobe. That's where your rationalization and all that comes from. When you have big damage to that frontal lobe, that's when people lose that empathy and sympathy and all that stuff. And the ability to rationally think. Just follow me for more brain stuff. Clearly a brain surgeon. But yeah, he's still having issues with that. It's like leaking now. It's fucking weird, man. And he's still working. He's just one of those people. Like, he went to the hospital and had it drained, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And he missed one day. He had a heart attack for 3
That's
months
like
ago.
your father-in-law.
Same thing. And his dad was the same way. Bill had a stroke on a Friday.
Open heart surgery, and he was back in 3 days or something like that.
Yeah, he
That's
had it on
crazy.
Friday, and like Tuesday or Wednesday, he was back to work. He couldn't do much because he was stapled shut, but he still went in and was answering the phone and stuff. They're nuts, man. They're nuts. But this generation, not so much. Her sister had her tonsils out. She was off for 2 weeks. Apple and tree far apart. She's a good worker though, but especially for a Gen Z or whatever she is. I think she's Gen Z. She's only 22, I think, 23. I think that's where she falls. They're like the worst workers in the world right now. People are like losing their businesses because they can't find young people to work. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. If you're a hustler right now, you're somebody who has like that work ethic like we had. We didn't have a choice.
Right.
I don't know if we would have been better if we had a choice like these kids seem to have a choice. Maybe we had ended up the same way. I don't know. Because back then, you had to eat. There wasn't nobody going to help you. There was, government assistance, but it was such a taboo thing that if you did, if you had any kind of conscience, if you got on that shit, you were off of it pretty quick, or you tried to be anyway. But there were people. I remember this kid in my class in English. We were talking about what we wanted to do when we grew up. And he's like, I'm going to be on welfare like my parents. It was called general assistance then. He said, I'm going to be on GA just like my parents. And that was his aspiration. He was like, why would I go to work? We sit at home, we have fun, we eat. Why would I go to work? And now everybody's like that. Everybody thinks that the government owes them something. They want to have that universal basic income, they're calling it, where the government pays you a certain amount of money. But what they don't understand, is the government doesn't make any money. They just collect money. So it's your friends and neighbors that you're mooching off of and leeching off of that are paying for your shit. It's not the government. They don't make anything. They don't produce anything. They don't have an income other than taxpayers. That's it. They print the money, but that's why your grocery bill's $600 right now instead of $250 like it used to be. That wasn't even that long ago. You been grocery shopping lately?
I hate going grocery shop, but
I
yeah,
hate
I've
it too,
been.
but man.
Yeah, you don't get you don't get a lot of food for the money you're spending. That's for sure.
Not anymore. And that's the other thing. I don't think Puddin said they don't know what hard labor is. I think that's true. I think it's true. What you and I do for fun, these kids would fucking collapse.
Yeah.
Now we sound like the people who were above us generationally. Because
Yeah.
they used to say the same shit about why you cut your hair like that? Where they used to, this one guy was like, you're a punk rocker. I'm like, no. Do you remember when the head shaving thing was going on? You shave the sides of your head, kind of like a mullet thingy.
Yeah.
I was doing that. And he was like, you're a punker. I worked at Goshen Dairy on the dock, loading trucks. You're a punk rocker. That's what they call me. I'm like, dude, you have no idea.
Man, I miss that place.
Yeah, their chip dip. I made their chip dip too for a little while.
Oh my God, their ice cream was awesome.
Yeah. And Tin Roof was my favorite. Still my favorite, but I have to get it from Pennsylvania now. There's a place called Turkey Hill, and the Kroger's have it. So Turkey Hill ice cream from Pennsylvania. They make a Tin Roof. They call it Tin Roof Sundae, but it's basically the same thing. It's not as good as Goshen Dairy's, but it's pretty good.
That's just the vanilla with the fudge swirl and the peanuts in it, or
fudge
something?
ripple with peanuts. Yeah, that's all it is. Supposed to be Spanish peanuts. That's the kicker. They don't put Spanish peanuts in it. It's supposed to be Spanish peanuts. Like when you get the peanut butter parfait, that's what it is. It's the same thing.
My favorite from there was, and you can't find it. I've never found it since. Was buttered almond ice cream.
I remember
instead
that.
of the butter pecan.
Yeah, it was like this yellowy, kind of weird that flavor of ice cream. I don't know what it was. It's not regular vanilla.
No, it's like a buttery flavor.
Yeah, it was odd. I remember because I floated when I first got there. I worked on the milk jug line. That was my first job. I would load empty milk jugs on the conveyor belt to go through and get filled.
Yeah.
In half gallons and gallons, whatever they were. It was the plastic line. So I did that for about a year. And then they floated me around. I would help with the school milk, the little cartons,
Mm-hmm.
And then I would help with the ice cream sometimes. Then there was times I'd work back in the sour cream room. That's where I made the chip dip. And that I looked all over the internet for that place because I remember the bags because I had to dump them in the giant vat of sour cream. And the French onion spice stuff came from Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of it because it was so long ago. We're talking, 85, 86 when I worked there. And that was just so long ago. I can't remember. But I've been looking for a place in Erie, and they must have shut down. They probably did years ago. I don't know. But that's the only thing that made that chip dip what it was that flavoring. Because other than that, it was just sour cream. And their sour cream wasn't any different than anybody else's. But they just had stuff like that. Like you said, the buttered almond and whatever. They had a few specialty items.
Yeah. Just the ice cream overall I thought it was better than most of the stuff you bought in the stores.
It was all, the same people made the same shit.
Yeah.
Unless they were on vacation. That's when the floaters like me would go around. But 99.9% of it was made by the same person every day for years. So that's why it was always so good. They kept people. Back then you could keep people and people could, do a good job because they were good at their job because they did it every day for years. The sour cream makers, the ice cream guys, they all stayed in the same place. That would kill me to do that, but that's what made it good.
Pretty boring.
It would be boring, especially after you get so good at it, you do it in your sleep. The only places that changed hands, changed people were like the freezer jobs and the dock. When I worked on the dock and the freezer guy would change, we changed freezer guys pretty frequently. But everybody messed with those guys. We were young, I was in high school when I started there. And I worked there till after high school, after I graduated. I was married when I worked there. But there was this one guy, his name was Mike, but we called him Milt because he had an older brother named Milt, and he couldn't stand him.
Mm-hmm.
So we called him Milt. And he worked in a blast freezer. And what they would do with it, when they made the ice cream, it was good. It goes in like a cream, just like it was about the consistency of a milkshake when they put it in those tubs. And they slap the lid on it, and there's a conveyor belt goes in right into the blast freezer. And the blast freezer was 26 below zero. Still remember that. And you walk into that place, man, and it's cold. 26 below zero is fucking cold. So what we would do, we were drinkers and partiers and having fun. So you get the beer farts, and we would go in there.
Oh, God.
And you let a beer
and
fart
I
in
ate that ice cream.
Oh, well, the ice cream was sealed up by the time we were in there, by the time we got to the fart room. But it was already shrink wrapped too. But you go in the one room and you'd fart in there, and it would stay for like 15 minutes because the air didn't move. It was so cold. And he'd walk through there, and you'd hear him start yelling. He'd come out, "You sons of bitches!" Screaming because he had a real high voice and he talked with a lisp like that. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Poor Milt. Then I had to work in there, and they were doing it to me too. So not as funny when you have to do it. It would hit you in the face. You could almost physically feel it. You walk through one. It was awful. Beer farts are genuinely dangerous. Bad. It was rancid. That's probably where the band got its name from.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about beer farts one day. Hey, we should name our band Rancid. Yeah, it was a good job. I had fun working there, but, it was a long time ago. Good times. They're gone now.
I don't know if I had fun at any of my jobs.
No? Not even the movie theater?
I was just going to say the movie theater, maybe.
That would have been a fun job. Because you got to be a projectionist, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yep.
Were you dating your wife then?
Yeah, she'd come up and watch movies for free. Was we married? Nah, I think it was a year before we got married.
Did you ever do her at a projection room?
No comment.
I think I already knew the answer. That's why I asked. Yeah, it's funny. I would have. Hell
Mm.
yeah, man. Let's watch.
She worked at. That was in the mall, so she worked at a jewelry store in the
Yeah,
mall,
that's right. I forgot about that because she came from.
and they had a back room. It was just a wee little skinny small store, and the back room had the one-way mirror, like the security thing.
Mhm.
You could watch. So I talked her into.
What jewelry store was
That's
it? Was that Arts or
it was called Gold Express.
Gold? Okay, yeah, okay. Was that pre or post Walmart?
That was pre-Walmart.
Pre Walmart. Okay.
Yeah,
So you guys were young then.
yeah.
So you're.
I talked her into messing around back there. I said, "We can see what's going on right here. We could just we're going at it." And a customer walked in.
But you know what? They
Uh,
know. I know they know. They have to know. You can't hide that shit. It's on your face.
You should have seen her.
Oh, I bet she was embarrassed. Fucking scrambling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys always blame me for that stuff, but my ex at the time, she was into that stuff. That's how we
Yeah.
ended up in that situation in the basement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When we were dating, we were up at the mall in Canton, and she wanted me to try on some clothes. Dude, I was dirt poor. I had nothing. So she would, try to bolster my wardrobe. Anytime I got a paycheck, we would go up to the mall. And she would pick out clothes for me or whatever, dress me the way she wanted me to dress. But we were at the Gap. I fucking hated the Gap. I hated their clothes, but she was like, "You look cute in it." Yeah. I was like, no, I don't. I look metrosexual in them. But anyhow, she sneaks into the fucking dressing room while I'm trying my clothes on, and boom, next thing I know, we're going at it. And yeah, people dressing all around. You know how those dressing rooms were. There was no privacy in those. They were open underneath.
Yeah.
We're doing it right there on the bench. Then she gets up and plays all innocent. Oh, he's such a pervert. Yeah, it's me. I mean, it was me, but it's not wrong. It's a good assessment, but she was just as bad as I was. She just liked to play innocent. You know, them girls do.
Yep.
I don't want to go to hell for being like that. You ain't, honey. Don't worry. You're going to hell for way other things.
I used to see stuff in the movie theaters a lot. People doing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Because you had the window up there.
Yeah,
That
I
you could
forgot
look down
about
into
that. You probably could, and the light was shining through, so you could probably see everything.
Oh yeah, you can see it. It's a little dark, but you can still see stuff. I mean, I don't remember if we seen anybody screwing or not. I don't remember. I know I seen a girl go down on a guy a couple times. You could tell a guy was finger banging the girl, and
I wonder if anyone got the popcorn trick while you were there.
I don't know.
I'm
That'd
like,
be
oh,
great.
these kids today are doing it with a Pringles can. I'm like, that won't work. You'd have to eat an awful lot of Pringles to get down there.
Yep.
If you're touching that mushroom cap, it's going to take you a minute. She's going to be full by the time she gets there. Stuffed chock full of Pringles. Good times. You ever get caught by the cops?
I got caught by I don't know if it was a cop. Well, it wasn't the cops because they never came back, but we were out parking. This was before my wife. I was out parking with a girl in this back country area, and it must have been right when they were picking the crops or whatever.
Yeah.
I had this guy pull up right behind us in this big tractor with his high beams
tractor.
on. He pulled up right behind us because we were right by a cornfield, and he just sat there because we were like fighting for our clothes. And we took off out of there.
That's funny. We were over at by the golf course
Mm-hmm.
back in the 80s, so it was the only golf course, you know where we were.
Right.
And if you go just past the golf course up on top of the hill, there was a well, a gas well.
Mhm.
So we were
Yeah.
back in that road. We pulled back in the gas well road and we're making out. And we're just about ready to get naked. I mean, she was fairly dressed for the most part. Then boom, he had to pull up with no lights on. And then he just turned them on. We're like, ugh. So we're scrambling. And it was so creepy, dude, because he like knocks on the window with his flashlight, on her window, of course.
Yeah.
And she rolls her window down. He's like, are you here by your own free will? I'm like, what? He's like, shut up. Are you here by your own free will? And she's like, yes. He's like, you guys need to get your clothes on, move along. He left, and that was it. That was it. I was like, it never even crossed my mind that somebody would take somebody up there against their will.
Yeah.
Like I was so young. I was like 19. So that never crossed my mind. And I was like really off put by that. I was like, man, do I look like a fucking rapey dude?
No, that's good that they were checking though.
It is. I mean, as an adult, as a grown man now, I can appreciate why he did what he did.
Yeah.
But back then, I was offended.
Well, I'm sure because you were the perpetrator.
The perp. I was the perp. But that fucking haircut I had, I guess I probably did look like one. Side shaved. You're a punk. You're a punker. He's like, oh, this punker mullet afro dude. I had a weird hairdo. Weird fucking hairdo. I tried to grow a mullet so bad. So all I wanted was to be able to grow a mullet, long in the back, long in the front. And it looked like I looked like a poodle. You know how they had those puffballs in the front and the back? That's exactly what I look like. Terrible. It's amazing. It's amazing that I even got a hand job. As fucking goofy as I look. Must have been funny or something, I guess. I don't know.
I killed the mullet back in the day.
You did. You had a standard mullet, man. It was
That shit's coming back for a while. I don't know if it's still in or not.
yeah, it is. And the Oakleys too. Only they're bigger now.
Are they?
Yeah. They look
How can you
ridiculous
get
before.
bigger?
They're bigger. I'm fucking telling you. It's
Oh, my
unbelievable
goodness.
how big and stupid they look. They look like a fucking windshield.
I got some sunglasses that they were kind of like the Oakley look, and I put them on. I'm like, these are stupid. I threw them away.
Dude, if you had the original ones from back then,
I bet they're worth
Yeah.
a fortune.
yeah, they were expensive then.
Well, I told you those mirrors we were talking about
Yeah.
for the fair. They're like crazy priced on the internet if you still got them.
Yeah, well, that's why, because nobody still has them.
Yeah, they're glass and they break.
Yeah, they broke so easy, and they were in those shitty cardboard things.
Yeah, and there's
that
still
they-
some on there. I was looking at them. They still got some of them. Still got the cardboard.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Somebody had to put because what she would do, the evil one we're talking about earlier.
yeah.
We shall not mention her name, but what she would do was put them in with her record albums.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's what a lot of people did. Kept them in there's little like milk crates or whatever they had to keep the records in. You know, some people had album organizers and that kind of stuff and shelves and whatever.
I
never
think
had
I
any of that
hung
stuff,
mine
but-
on the wall, and then usually they fell off the wall and broke.
Yeah, and that's what I think 99% of the people did that. Because that's what they were made to do. They had the little hook in the back, the cardboard thing, flippy up,
Yep.
and you would hang it. That's what it was supposed to be for. And they were shitty cardboard, and they would just rip and fall, and they would break. It's kind of genius if you're into them. You know, if people were really into them, they would keep buying more. And the other thing is they came from the fair.
Yeah.
So they were basically, you didn't really have any investment in it. Couple bucks in darts or whatever, you know, or whatever the game was, you know. I think that's usually what it was darts.
Yeah, usually you threw a dart, popped a balloon, and you
Pop
won
the
a
balloon. Yeah.
mirror.
They would underinflate the balloon. Sometimes the darts would bounce off.
Bounce off of them.
Yeah. I'm like,
Probably,
come
they
on,
probably sat
man.
there and ground the tips down so they
Oh,
were
I'm
nice
sure
and
they
round.
did. And half of those were like the shafts were bent on them.
Mm-hmm. Half the fletchings were missing.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It is what it is. It was what it was. Those
Yeah,
were huge.
I just watched a YouTube video of carnival
Really?
games. Yeah.
Like how they cheat?
Yeah, how they stack the odds against you to win and how much they pay for each thing and how much they make off of each try. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was
I
pretty
would.
good.
I bet they had a nickel. Those things probably came from Indonesia or somewhere in China,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Indochina. They probably had a
Well,
nickel in it.
this was just recently. I'd just seen this thing, and it was like they
Well,
paid
yeah,
like
it's still going
they pay
on.
like a 50 cents for an item, like a stuffed animal, and you to play it was like I don't know, $3 or something like that.
So
When
even
this
if everybody won, they're still making bank.
Well, that's what they had a statistic that it took so many tries, like 7 tries to win, or even the harder stuff to win was even like 40 something tries if to even win. So they made so much money off of it. It was crazy. Then there's some games that the percentage of winning is just outrageous because it's almost impossible to win it.
That
Like
golf ball shit.
the glass jugs where you throw the plastic
Yeah.
rings over. They said that's
Yep.
almost impossible.
That one and the golf ball and the fish bowls. The fish bowls are a little easier,
Mm-hmm.
and you win a fish.
Yeah.
You know, it dies like an hour later. Because she would not let us have pets. So that was Alex's first pet, was a goldfish for
Goldfish
the
or
fair. And
The beta fish was
Yeah.
it the real colorful?
No,
big
it was just a
looking
regular old goldfish.
goldfish.
Yep. He wanted it at the fair, and she put it in one of those clear glass bowls, mixing
Mhm.
bowls.
Yeah.
But she filled the bowl all the way to the top.
So it'd jump out
It
and
jumped
die.
out. Yeah, it jumped out and died right down the
Yeah.
counter. Evil. Pure evil. Yeah. Is that I wanted a carny fish named Geronimo. That's where we got the name for the Vanster, by the way. Because it lasted about as long as a carnival fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20 minutes. Drove for 20 minutes and died. There's still a video somewhere. I had a ring cam of Barkley pulling me back into the driveway. She had the shop truck with a chain tied to the front of the Vanster.
Oh, jeez.
Because she broke. She broke quick. She broke twice in the same day. Except it was like 15 or 20 minutes I drove it.
I think that thing's jinxed like you.
It could be. That's why it found its way to me. The first time it ran out of gas. I was making videos too. That was the best part because I had my phone out and I was going down the runway, so I knew I was safe.
Right.
You know, the planes only fly on Sunday, so barring somebody having a emergency landing, I was pretty safe. So I'm like, I got my phone out, I'm giggling, going like 35 miles an hour down the runway, like, wah, and it just goes, bah. I'm like, oh, you can hear me. Oh. And then I'm like, trying to get it going. I'm like looking, and I'm like, I think it's fucking out of gas. Because the gas gauge didn't work right. So she came and picked me up, took me up. I got some airplane gas, and I took it back, put a gallon of airplane gas in it, fired right up, took off, went up to the pump, topped it off, turned around, headed back down, almost the exact same spot on the runway. I had my camera out again. I was like, here's try two. Oh. But this time it goes boom, made this big loud explosion, started going rah, 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 like that. I'm like, what the hell? I could hear it. I could feel it vibrating the seat. I'm like, man. So I got out and it had blown the spark plug completely out. They had fucking had it. The guy that sold it to me, JB Welded, they had these spark plug extenders to keep, they're for misfires. And they had JB welded it in there and then screwed the spark plug into that. And it blew.
Nice.
So, yeah, they took me. I paid full price for that thing too.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I really wanted it. Yeah. Good morning, Jen, Puddin, Miss Sydney, Tiff, everybody in chat. Hey, hey, hey. It's going to be top of the hour. We're going to play some, we're going to do the weather for you. I had, Heather did a bunch of weather ahead of time. I've got 5 of them. She even dated them so I could know which ones to do. That was nice of her. She's very organized, very, she's a doer. She's one of those people. You know, like the 7 job people. You remember them from when you were young?
Mm-hmm.
There's always them 1 or 2 people that just fucking, that's all they did was work. And they still had time to party and have fun. But mostly just worked a lot. Yeah, we're going to do her weather here in a little bit. Normally, this is where we would do Win Bonley's money, but it was given away on Monday. The 2N Gin won it, won $60. We'll start that again on Monday morning on Morning Bowl here with me and Bonzo. It'll be back to $20, and it'll be $20 all week till somebody hits. If nobody hits that week, the next week it'll be $40, and then the following week $60 if nobody hits. So,
So how does she get her money? Do you send her a card, or do you just
what I
wire
do,
it
I
through
buy
the internet?
Yeah, I buy an Amazon e-card.
An e-card?
Yep, and it'll give me a claim code, and I can send that code to her.
Nice.
To her messaging, and then they can go right on Amazon and claim their money. And they can do, like, if you're making payments on something, because you can do that on Amazon, I guess.
Yeah.
You can put it right on that. You can do whatever you want with it. She told me what she bought, but I don't know if she wants anybody to know, so I'm not going to say. But It wasn't underwear. I know that. That's what I try to encourage everybody to buy underwear, but because half the girls in chat don't wear it. They need to start. Time to be adults.
I'm going to put this mic thing outside or something. Will
You
that
still
ever
smell
air
it?
out? Oh, God, it's terrible.
You have to, like, open your door. Let it air out. Next time you come over, grab a new one. They're in the drawer down here. In the drawer where the brain for that PA system is.
Yeah.
The bottom drawer's got a package of them. We might be down to just the shitty colors now, but it's better than smelling that.
For sure.
Because it does make a difference in your voice. I can hear it. It sounds puffier.
Puffier?
Mm-hmm. That's what that pop filter does. Keeps that sound down. Motion detected at, I'm going to bust one of the dogs shitting on the floor. I put the nanny cam.
Yeah.
Back where I keep finding dog shit. They keep hiding. So I put the nanny cam back there and it just had motion. Someone's pissing and shit.
That's one thing my dog never did.
It's Agatha. I know it is. I know it's her because she gets pissed when you don't pay attention to her. I don't see anything. Could be.
I say that now and I'll go in and find a turd on the floor somewhere.
Yeah. He shit in my house before.
That's what I don't get. He's never. I think he peed one time when he was a puppy in the house, and then just once, and then he was good.
It's when in Rome, dude. My dogs are fucking.
Well,
feral.
yeah, he smells all that stuff in there. He probably thinks that's where you have to go.
They stop blaming that baby. It's definitely Agatha. She gets vindictive, and she'll pee and poop, and she does it back by the baby's room. It's almost like she knows. She's been acting funny ever since Bailey's gotten really pregnant.
Yeah.
I think she feels like she's going, and she's not wrong. She's going to lose her status.
Wasn't there like Lady and the Tramp or somebody that they got pregnant, and the dog thought they were? I don't remember. One of those cartoons like that where the family got pregnant and then they kind of forgot about the dog or something.
I can't remember which one it was, though. Was it Homeward Bound? No.
I was thinking it was Lady and the Tramp, but maybe not.
I don't remember. Those all.
I was thinking that's why she left or whatever. Didn't she go roaming? to find the tramp, or did he just find her?
I do not.
I don't remember. It's
I
been
only
so
remember
long.
the spaghetti scene. That's it.
Yeah.
The quintessential Lady and the Tramp scene in the movie.
I watched it with Connor, when he was littler, but
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been so long.
I don't know if Alex ever saw that one. If he did, he watched it without me.
Yeah.
I watched it in the theaters down at the Roxy in Caldwell. That was one of the ones. They would play the Disney movies, even though they weren't out at that time. They would just. I don't know how they got a hold of them. I'm sure you probably know how they do it in the movie theater business. I don't know, but they were
What,
just they would
the
get a hold.
video?
Yeah, they get a hold of old movies because they
There's
used
a company that ships them out. I don't know what the name of the company was, but it was some, through Hollywood. They have a film company, and you just go online and tell them what movies you want. However, and it's a set price of whatever movie. If it's a top
it was
run
probably
movie,
a phone. It was probably a phone number you called back then.
probably, yeah.
Because I was a kid, so it was in the 80s for sure.
But yeah,
80s.
you just told them. They probably had like a catalog or something, I imagine. I don't know. Or they might have a flyer for the newer stuff that they sent in the mail.
Right.
Like, these are coming out and this is what they cost, and then you called and order which one you wanted. But most of the like big theater companies, like we were a Hoyt theater back in when it first opened. So
was it a Hoyt?
Yeah, they actually all the corporate would order the movies for whatever theater and they would ship them to us. So
Well, those theaters were only into new movies.
yeah, those were
whatever
yeah.
the new releases were, they would,
Yeah.
Because didn't you have to be so big to get certain ones? Like there were certain movies you couldn't get.
Yeah.
They were like exclusive to certain theaters.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would advertise them as not available in every area. Were you there when it switched to Regal or?
No, I was done before that. I wasn't there for too long, a little over a year, I'm thinking.
Were you at the Quaker right up till then?
I never worked at Quaker.
I thought you worked at the Quaker.
No, I just worked at the Hoyt in the mall. That's the first one.
I don't know why I thought that. I think you told me you worked at the theater, and I just assumed it was the Quaker.
They don't, that was something that a lot of people aren't going to experience either. I mean, like movies like that, because now they're all digital.
Yeah.
They came on reels back in the day, actual film.
Yeah, it was cool to watch for the cigarette burns. That was one of the things I always did.
But yeah, you would get those things in, depending on how long the movie was, anywhere. I think it was the average movie was like 8 reels long.
Really? So you had to change that often?
No, you actually put them together. They had these, what they called platens at the movie projector. There was 3 of them, and you could put 3 different movies on that movie theater. In that theater, you could have 3 different movies playing at different times.
Oh, okay.
But we never did that because we weren't that big. But what we would do is you would go over there at the table, the film table, and put the film together by just splicing it together with like this tape.
Yeah. That little thing
you would run it. Yeah, and then you would run it onto the big platen as you were putting it together. And it was like, oh my, them platens were probably.
So back in the old days, you didn't do the way with the cigarette burn thing then, right?
No.
Because they had multiple projectors. They had 2, back in the old days, this is how I understood. They had 2 projectors, and when that cigarette burn come up, you flip the other one on, they would start showing the movie, and it knew, somehow they just took right off.
Yeah.
You would see just a little blip. It would change scenes or whatever. But that was cool. So you didn't have to deal with any of that. You had to do shit ahead of time.
Yeah, we would get the movies in, I think it was Thursday late, and we'd have to put them together that night and then put them on the platen and run them for the next day.
If you're not in chat, Jen is showing everybody her hemorrhoids on the chat line. So
that's nice.
Please avoid the chat room. She must be sitting a little too much these days, riding to work. on her bicycle with no seat or something. I don't know.
But I remember one time, I don't know if I told this story or not. I didn't put it together, but somebody put one of the films together wrong
Oh.
because they come in canisters and they're marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 8 or whatever, depending on the, like I said, the length of the movie. Well, these people, I was running the movie, these people they were coming out and complaining and stuff. They're like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Well, here somebody put the reels in the wrong order and the movie was all playing screwed up.
Was it the same movie but in the wrong order or
Yeah, it was the same
different
movie.
movies?
Yeah, well, they just took the reel, like say they put 1, 2 together, and then they jumped to like maybe 5 or 6, and then put 4 in it. So it was all screwed up.
Do you remember what the movie was?
I don't remember what it was, but we had to give everybody their money back, and then I had to tear the whole thing apart and figure out which reel goes where.
Oh my goodness.
And then one time,
that would be awful.
One time, the way you threaded the film through the projector in the front, there was these emergency arms down there. So if the film broke, they would drop and it would shut the projector off.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
So I was in once we started the movies, there wasn't much to do except, dick off. So we talked our boss into letting us walk around the mall while the movies were running. We'd carry walkie-talkies. Well, if you got so far down the mall, you couldn't hear them anymore because you were too far out of range of the walkie-talkie. So I'm walking around in the mall, and I see this one girl coming running around looking for me. She's like, "You got to come back quick! You got to come back quick!" She said, "There's tape all over the floor." I'm like, "Tape? What the fuck are you talking about?" So I'm running back. I get up there, and literally the film was piled clear to the ceiling. When I got back, it was still playing. The movie was still playing.
Well, thank goodness for that. But
what happened was the feet, the film came out and then it caught something and it jumped back in, and it kept that foot from falling. It kept it up in the air, that emergency stop foot.
Jeez.
So it was piling in there, and then it was feeding out the front of the machine onto the floor. So,
Holy
my
shit.
God, I had a fucking mess to clean up after that. We had to give everybody their money back, shut the movie off. And then it took me hours to put that movie back
I
up.
bet.
So I don't think we
Can't believe
ran
it
that
wasn't
little-
damaged.
Well, it was a little scratched up after that. I had to clean it all, and we did keep that clean up there, but it was still pretty dusty and dirty every once in a while. But yeah, it was all scratched up. And
Yeah, I mean, you told me this story before, but you didn't tell these people.
it took the whole day to fix that movie. And we had to not run it. That, you know how much money we lost.
Oh, I bet.
Because I was walking out in the mall. She was pissed. She said, "No more going out in the mall." I ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault though. It was just something that happened.
Yeah, I mean,
machine-
let's be honest.
the
You should-
machine
no one
malfunctioned.
should have been walking on the mall.
Oh
working,
no, we
but
shouldn't
You
have
didn't
been.
ruin it. It was just,
Yeah, it was.
it was inevitable that something would happen that caused that to go away.
It was crazy.
Anytime
But yeah,
you do something fun.
you say, I wish I had my phone back then, because you could have took a picture. That'd have been great.
Oh, that would have been great.
It was just a mound of film piled to the ceiling.
Too bad you didn't have your Kodak disc camera in your pocket.
Yeah. My Polaroid.
The Polaroid One Step.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the really bad jokes of the 80s. What do you call
Well, it's
the one-legged Polish guy with hemorrhoids? The Polaroid One Step. Ba-dum, tsh. Terrible joke. All right, that's a good segue into the weather here. I still haven't done my stinger for this yet. I got to remember to record that. Here, let's do it this way here. See if I can find a...
Here we go. You ready? It's time for Heather's weather.
How was that?
that's good.
That's good. I don't know if you can hear this or not. You might not be able to hear this. That'd be terrible.
I can't hear anything if you're playing it.
I'm not yet, but I'm getting ready to. Here we go. This is Heather's weather for September 11th, 2024. I don't know where it is either because I sent her a bunch of different places. So we'll see. And I took your advice, by the way. So we'll see who it's for. Here it is.
Vancouver's week ahead is looking irresistible. Expect the skies to tease you with soft, lingering clouds, creating a dreamy, overcast blanket that makes the cool air all the more enticing. Gentle breezes will caress your skin, while temperatures hover in the seductive mid-60s. As the week progresses, a warm front could slip in, turning up the heat just a little. Don't be surprised if a playful drizzle sneaks in, leaving everything slick and glistening, setting the perfect mood for an intimate evening inside. Get ready to embrace the elements. This weather is bound to stir something in you.
That was Heather's weather for Vancouver, Washington.
She could get a job on that. You ever see that news channel where the women are nude when they're doing the
Yeah.
news?
It started in Russia. Hard to believe.
Did it?
Yeah. And then it's now everyone's doing that shit. Not everybody, but a lot of places are doing it. Yeah, we got a show. We're trying to get it put together, but there's a problem with what's the word? Rights to the stories. Am I doing that right? Copyright infringement issues.
What are you trying to do?
We're trying to put on a show called After Dark, where
Okay.
people guest read these stories, and they're not all like dirty, but they're like adultish nature,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna air like on midnight on whatever night it is, whatever night of the week it is, and it'll just be our DJs or even people from the radio station, anybody that wants to volunteer to read one of the stories. But we're having trouble finding stories that aren't copywritten. We have licenses for the music we play, but I don't know where you'd find licenses to do that. I think those people have to be paid individually for their stories. We just don't have money for that. So that's why it's called After Dark. And, but yeah, it's basically what it is. People like, and she's definitely going to be one of them that's going to be reading those stories. And that's kind of where the idea of this came from. The original idea, and I had to scrap it because, people have tragedies in their lives. Like you just recently lost your dad to an accident.
Yeah.
My sister's death was tragic. Heather's mom, she lost her to an accident. The original thing was going to be, she was going to be like Kenny from South Park. I was going to have her die in a helicopter wreck every week when she did the weather.
Oh, jeez.
But then I was like, I just couldn't do it. There was too much shit that happened. So I was like, that's a no. So we decided to go with the sexy weather forecast instead because I didn't know what else to do. So
I think that's a pretty good segment.
and it's going to be daily now. I asked her, I'm like, do you only want to do it once a week? She's like, no, I want to do it every show. So she's going on vacation this weekend, and she did a handful of shows ahead. So we're all the way up to the 20th. So we're good too. So we got a few Heather, but I don't know which ones they are. I did. I took your advice and did everybody's hometowns.
That's good.
So that was hers. She's from Vancouver, Washington. So Vancouver. I was. What the hell? I joke with her. I call it like Windsor.
Yeah.
Or Ontario or Toronto. Because when I think of Vancouver, and it's right below Vancouver too. So,
Oh, is it?
yeah. It's south of it. But yeah, I'm like, come on, man.
I want to go to Washington once. I want to see that state.
The coastline I'd like to see. The Oregon and Washington coastlines, yeah. That craggy. Maine seems similar to that too.
Oh, I loved Maine when I was up there.
I've never been. I want to go to Maine. I want to go to Oregon,
We
Northern
went-
California.
Before Connor was born, we went with her dad and stepmom. We drove up the coast. It was pretty awesome. Went through like Vermont and Massachusetts
Because
and
then I bought that car.
oh yeah, you did.
And we already know how that ended up.
Yep. Everything you get. And I know why it does it now. I've been riding with you.
Oh, yeah? You think it's my
Yeah,
driving?
it's that feathering of that gas you do all the time.
I try not to, but I can't help it.
It's gotta be. That transmission can't handle that in and out all the time like that.
And that is what blew up on that Suburban. I had her loaded down.
Yeah, because I thought there was something wrong with your truck. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I'm like, what is that? I do that. That's me. I'm like, oh shit.
Tisha was complaining about it too.
No wonder your transmission goes out.
I can't help it. I've done it ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, and ever since you kid, you lost transmissions in vehicles.
My driving is amazing.
It's amazing.
We're gonna get you guys out on the racetrack. We'll see who's last. Because I don't let up then. I was just always paranoid about getting speeding tickets because I got them all the time because I don't pay attention. My ADHD kicks in. Next thing I know, I'm going 75 fucking miles an hour. It should be, I should get a free pass. I should have a handicap sticker for that. It says I'm allowed to speed because I can't pay attention. I don't do it. I very rarely speed on purpose.
You should just put your cruise control on. As soon as you get on the highway, put your cruise control on.
Well,
or any
then,
higher. You know.
I do now. But back in the day, like I didn't have cruise control in any of my vehicles. So that's where all that
Your
came
wife's
from.
got that new Toyota, and she's gonna be like, "Why is the transmission out of this thing already? This was supposed to last me 300,000.
I don't do it in that one. That one, the gas pedal is so rangy. Like you have to really move it to make a change. It's weird. It's different. Like you have to really push that gas pedal down to go. So I'm probably still doing it. It's probably just not picking it up.
Yeah.
My foot's probably still going up and down, but it's just not picking it up. But yeah. And I use the cruise control in that car because I like that progressive, whatever they call that. What do they call that?
Oh, I hate that.
I like it. I think
My
it's
wife's
safe.
car has that. It is safe, but it's not safe though too, because like if there's somebody on your ass and you're driving like that, and it all of a sudden your car lets off on the gas, you're getting rear-ended.
Yeah, but I'm a dick on the highway anyway, so that doesn't bother me. They shouldn't be riding my ass. That doesn't bother me. Here's what bothers me about it. When someone's getting off the on-ramp and off-ramp, it still picks them up. So when they slow down, you slow way the fuck down.
Yeah.
It can't be doing that. They got to figure that shit out. Because then it'll slow you down to like 40 miles an hour and a 70, and you're like, yeah, that's the only thing about it that ain't safe.
I don't think it's going to be healthy for your engine either, because I've noticed if I'm in that mode, like if I'm getting up on somebody and it slows way down, I'll jump over the fast lane, and next thing you know, the fucking engine's flying.
Yeah.
RPMs are shooting up there. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, and yeah, there are a couple things about it. You have to really be on your game, and you got to change lanes early. They teach you that in truck driving school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Change your lanes early.
Yep. Think ahead, look ahead. But in a truck, it's different because you can see 72 cars in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting up above everybody. When you're in a car and you're behind a bigger vehicle, you're done. You can't see around that. That's why I don't get close to anybody. So I can
My
see
luck on the highway is when I'm following somebody with cruise and, you know, that thing will slow down.
Mhm.
There's always a car coming up beside me, so I can't get over early.
Yeah,
So
you got to be way ahead. You got to know. As soon as that thing, you know, because it gives you that little signal.
Right.
That it picks a car up in front of you. As soon as I know I'm going faster than that car, I get out in the other lane. And that makes some people mad, but I don't really care.
That's why I don't get out there, because if there's somebody coming up on me, I don't want to cut them off.
Yeah.
But
I won't cut them off, but I'll make people slow down. Because I get 5 over. I figured that's good enough, right?
Yeah, I do. I think I do 7 because that's
Yeah.
what somebody told me. The highway patrol let you slide
I
at
think
7.
highway patrolman told me that.
Yeah.
And he said, no more. Any more than that, you're being greedy. That's a quote. So I keep it at 5. That way I know if that guy's having a bad day, I'm safe.
Right.
What pisses me off, there's a lot of things that piss me off driving, but one of the things is people will see a cop that has somebody pulled over and they'll slow down
Yeah.
in the fast lane.
Right.
Like, no. He's busy. Now is the best time to speed. But I have seen where they'll do that. They'll have one and then they'll have another one real close by down the road because they know people are like, oh, he's busy. I'm going to speed. And they'll have one, especially on holidays, they'll do that. And they'll get you. I can't remember my last one. Oh, yeah, I can. It wasn't that long. It was in my black pickup, yeah. I just got off work. And when you're in that mixer, man, your foot is to the floor the whole time because it barely goes the speed limit.
Right.
You know, I can go 5 over, but that was it. I mean, you're always on it. And it feels like you're creeping when you're in your car as opposed to in that truck. So I was going like 67 miles an hour and 55, and I didn't even realize it. I wasn't even in a hurry. I was just cruising home. The guy nailed me. He's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I wasn't speeding. His dad, the state patrolman's dad, went to school with us.
Who's that?
Bowersock. Do you remember any of those guys?
No. Mm-mm.
Denny Bowersock. I think he was behind me, like a year behind me or 2. He ran around with the hoodlings that I ran around with.
Really?
Yeah. That's what and I remember asking him, like, is your dad Denny Bowersock? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, he was kind of wild back in the day. He's like, yeah, he didn't make the best decisions in the world. I'm like, I say he was a nice guy. Like, he just, did what young guys do back then. Smoke a little weed, drink a little beer. He was a goofball. Like kind of nerdy in hoodie. I don't know what you would call that. Herdy.
Yeah.
Do people even call them hoods anymore?
I don't know.
Do we have anybody?
I don't know
I think everybody in chat's old like us, so we don't have anyone young to ask. Tiff might be the youngest in chat. But I don't know if they call
Maybe it was just our school that called them hoods. Who knows?
Well, no, because they called them that down in Caldwell, too.
Oh, didn't they say the hoods and the dweebs in Ferris Bueller or something like that?
No. Let's see.
No, they didn't say the hoods.
Let's see, I'll play it here. I got it on my thing.
Could have sworn the hoods were in there.
Here it is. So, what do you think about old Bon Lee Johnson?
The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
Oh, isn't that flattering? See ya. No hoods.
Yeah, no hoods.
Motorheads, geeks, spaz. Yeah. But no, I think it's, I don't know. Now, in Philly, they called it Hood Alley.
Yeah, Hood Alley.
Yeah. Caldwell, I don't know what. You're right. We didn't call them hoods. I don't know what we called it. Smokers.
Yeah, that's about what the hoods were, was just somebody went out and smoked in the alley.
That's all it was. Yeah. Smoking out in the Hood Alley. And I remember hearing a teacher say it once, and I was so naive back then that I was shocked that they knew about it. Because I thought they got away with that stuff. I'm like, nobody knows what goes on out in the Hood Alley. Bullshit.
Yeah, they don't.
You're out there for smoking or fighting. Those are the only 2 reasons you went out in that alley. Could you imagine the poor people that fucking lived in those houses back there?
Oh, I know.
I mean, back then you didn't even think about it, nor would you care. But those people that lived around the high school, what a shitty place to live. High school kids are so shitty anyway. Yeah, she's right. Putting one of the new slang terms is "that's so Ohio." When they're talking about trash and shit. Yeah, that's so Ohio.
That's nice.
That's fucked up, but it's kind of true. I mean, you know what? Listen,
I don't believe that. I think all the states are
Yeah,
they
probably, but-
everybody's got their slummy areas and
we have a major heroin problem in Ohio that a lot of other states don't
oh
have.
yeah.
But it's
I
coming
think
to a neighborhood near you, so don't shit on us too hard. Because you might be next. Dave Chappelle even talks about it.
I remember going in school, remember how you used to be able to walk to lunch, go
Yeah,
wherever you
mhm,
wanted to?
yeah, open
Well,
lunch,
they
yeah.
stopped doing that for a while and then they brought it back. I don't know if it's still a thing or not.
I loved open lunch.
Me too. I used to go. I think what was that? Where Drug Mart was? It used to be like a grocery
Bueller's.
store or something.
It was
Was it
Bueller's, yeah,
Bueller's?
yeah.
And I used to go there and grab some lunch, or go to Mary Zeifer's Pizza and grab lunch.
Mary Zeifer's was huge.
But I remember getting in trouble, and this was a bunch of bullshit, I thought. But I was coming back, and I had trash, so it was trash day. The trash was sitting out on the curb, so I threw some trash in one of the local neighbors' trash, and I got in trouble for littering. The cops actually came to the school. I don't know how they figured it was me. I don't know, but they said, you can't
ratted
do
you out.
that. You can't do that.
Why
I'm
not?
like, I threw it in a trash can. I wasn't littering. I put it in a trash can. That's private property. You can't do that. I'm like, whatever. I didn't get a fine or anything, but they did.
They don't
give me
pay
a
for that
warning.
trash service? Oh, yeah, I guess you do. You get billed for it.
So, yeah, if you're walking around, you throw trash in somebody's trash can, that's illegal.
I'm going to have to start
better-
watching my trash cans because I can bust people for it. Hey, kid, get off my lawn. Get to be those old people.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
Goddamn
Put
kids.
trash in a goddamn trash can and get in trouble. That's so Ohio.
There are some crazy kids out there, and I'm sure I did it too. But man, these kids drive nuts today.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
I
did.
live right here on this highway, so I get to see all kinds of shit. But
I just flip them off.
every
They always look shocked.
it's usually every weekday around, I don't know, it's 5:36 somewhere. He must be coming home from work. It's a kid on a crotch rocket, and
Yeah.
he's either doing 80 on one wheel going past, or he's doing like 100 flying by on two wheels. He's going to get killed, but
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean-
that stuff usually takes care of itself.
it's just crazy. I feel sorry for his parents if
Yeah.
sometimes.
And that's who pays the real price. Parents and the friends and the
And if you yell at them or something,
then you're a Karen.
yeah, I'm a fucking idiot.
You're a Karen. Patty Karen cakes. So what you do is like I used to do, be like, oh shit, I was taking my trash out and this trash can accidentally rolled out in front of your car when you ran that stop sign by my house.
Yeah. And I couldn't do that for this kid.
Not
He'd
on
be
that guy,
dead
no.
No,
Because he'd
no.
get killed. But I remember this, oh God, that stop sign by my house drove me fucking nuts. And the people, adults, lived there, would run it. And I asked this lady, what are you doing? We have kids around here. Why are you running that stop sign? We don't think the stop sign should be there. I don't give a fuck what you think. It's there. Stop at it. No. They called me the stop sign Nazi for a while because
I would be too, especially
I-
about a kid.
yeah. Well, this one car almost ran Alex over one time. That was it. I fucking snapped.
Oh.
Man, I fucking snapped. I went off on that dude. He drove like a half a block down the road, then stuck his head out the window. He's like, fuck you. I'm like, oh, what a tough guy. What a tough guy. I was a lot younger then, but I'd get my ass kicked now. Wouldn't take much.
It sucks getting old. You can't do any shit
No.
like that anymore.
All they have to do is run around in circles and I'd run out of breath and die. They wouldn't even have to hit me. If they hit me in the head, I'm fine. You hit me in my fucking fat belly or my sore back, I'm going down. You beat the hell out of my head, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. I do that myself. I just now stopped bleeding from the last one.
Yeah, you're good at banging your head on everything.
I can't help it. I have no depth perception. When I get in and out of stuff, That's why my neck's all beat up too.
I'm gonna get you a bicycle helmet. You're
That's
gonna
what
have
I
to wear
need.
it around.
And put grease on it the way I slide in and out of stuff faster. It'll save my neck. All right, it's time to call it. We did pretty good today. Got through it pretty fast, considering we didn't have anything to talk about.
Right.
You know, we did well. You know, you don't have to start till 8 if you don't want to. If you don't want in on the music stuff, because I know it's
It don't
kind of early.
matter.
It's up to you. I
I'm
like
in
having
here,
you.
so it
I like
doesn't
having you
matter.
in here. So if you're going to be in the shop, then yeah, by all means, tune in.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
When's Loose Lips starting?
I don't know. We have to get with Puddin' and find out. Send
I
me a
wanna
message,
hear it.
Tisha. We want to
I
hear
forgot
Loose
to
Lips.
tune in last week on their show. When is their show?
We were
Letters?
at the movies.
Oh, okay.
That's why we didn't get to. We missed her show because we went and seen
That's on
Beetlejuice.
Friday.
Yep, it's on Friday. Every other Friday.
So
it's not this week.
Friday.
Nope, next week.
We need to get that Loose Lips on
We do. It's going to be a great show.
every day.
Every day. 5 days
7
a week.
days a week. 7.
7. No weekends off either.
Nope. Nope.
All right, WBAM. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll be back Friday morning at 7:30 with more Morning Bull for you with me and Bonzobitburg. So peace and love, WBAM. Peace and love.
Peace.